And now let's talk UFC on the 4th of July, Independence Day, representing Phoenix, Arizona, and the Minnesota Vikings. Our guy from the Die Hard MMA podcast, Animarak, in the house. How you doing on this glorious holiday?
What is going on, low baggers? What's up, Jimmy? I'm doing great. Thank you all. I hope everybody's having a great holiday, and I couldn't be happier to be here.
Oh, you are looking good. You are looking good, Animarak. I love it. I love it. All right, let's start by you setting the stage. Where are we for UFC this weekend?
UFC 239. We are headed back to good old Las Vegas, the oasis in the desert, the city of gold, El Dorado itself. Where rumor has it, you can still catch herds of white women running around in the desert using traps made of cocaine and pumpkin spice.
That is true. That is very true, man. You know the city very well. And our guy, whom we love dearly, Gabe Morency, is flying from New York to Vegas any minute now to get his party started for UFC. And shout out to Gabe Morency. Hope you have a spectacular time in Vegas. All right, let's take a look at what we are dealing with here. Going to go over to fighting UFC at Sportsbook Review and give us a little update on how last week went for you.
Last week, unfortunately, I dropped a unit. I went 10-2 in overall fight picks, and two of the giant favorites that I had on props, they both had a chance. They were right there, this close to get it done. I could have had a plus 1.5 unit or a plus 3.8 unit night. Both guys decided to ride out a decision instead of getting the finish, so unfortunately had a slight loss. But if you listened to me on the show, on the podcast, you could have parlayed some of that together and hit some big scores.
Yes, you could have. And this is a big, big card that I imagine you're very, very excited about. Let's start with your first play, and let me get the number here. Chance Rencontre versus Ismail Nardiev. Nardiev, a giant favorite at minus 500. There's been no movement at BetOnline. What's your play in this spot?
Well, first fight of the night, we're going to be rocking with a couple of young up-and-comers that I think are going to put on a show for UFC 239. Rencounter is a fantastic fighter who stepped into the deep end and went a full 15 minutes with one of the veterans and then came out in his second fight in the UFC and got a submission real quick. Nurmagomedov, dude's a beast. The Austrian wonder boy. Everyone's expecting this kid to come out and be something. He could be a legend in the future. So I am just going to lean on the fact that these two are going to get in there and kill each other. Neither of them are wrestlers by trade. They're both tall. They're both long. They're going to stand in the pocket and bang, someone's going to sleep. Fight doesn't go to decision at minus 110.
Fight doesn't go to decision at minus 110 is our guy Animarak's first play on the card. I love it, Animarak. Let's keep rolling along. We have Song Yadong versus Alejandro Perez. Perez opening up as a plus 185 dog. There's been a 15-cent move towards Alejandro Perez. How you banging this one out?
Well, the second fight on the card, I'm rolling with my boy Song Yadong. There's not many Asian stars that step into the UFC, and he's one of them.
Oh, man.
We are laying the minus 200 on Song Yadong to get it done because Alejandro Perez, he just fights close with basically everybody. He doesn't quite get it done. Song Yadong trains out of Alpha Male. There's no way Alejandro takes this to the ground, and Song Yadong is just going to be the more athletic fighter with better foot movement. I will lay the big wood with this one. 2 units to win 1.
Wow, 2 units to win 1. When you jump on a fave, that is a good sign. I like it. Okay, next up, we have Randa Marcos versus Claudia Gadelha. Marcos, a big dog, plus 235, but there's been a 40-cent move towards Randa Marcos. How are you handling this one?
Well, if you listen to my podcast that dropped on Sunday last week, you beat that line movement. We are all over the dog. The Quiet Storm, Randa Marcos, is a fighter whose stock is headed up. Claudia Gadelha stepped into the UFC as a complete monster, thinking she'd be the title holder, but she is 1-2 in her last 3, and she had a robbery split decision win for her W. She should be 0-3 in her last 3 fights. Her stock is going down. Marcos is live here. Claudia Gadelha gasses out after the first round, and she just doesn't seem like she's got it anymore. I think she's prematurely fading in her career, and this one's going to be close. We're going to lean on a split decision where Randa comes back in rounds 2 and 3 to get it done. Plus 204 is the line I got on Randa Marcos.
Wow, big dog here. Getting a big dog here from our guy Animarak, Randa Marcos at plus 2 bills. I like it. Plus 195 if you want it now. I like it. Great work. Let's move on to another spot. Luke Rockhold fight. Rockhold versus Blachowicz. Rockhold opening at his minus 180 favorite, and there has been a 50-cent move towards Rockhold. Not only that, but bookmakers hanging Rockhold at minus 290, but minus 230 here at Bet Online. What is your play here in this Rockhold fight?
I love all the money coming in on Rockhold, Jimmy. I love it. We are going to roll with Jan Blachowicz. Rockhold is moving up to 205. And don't get me wrong, this man is one of the most skilled UFC MMA fighters that we have ever seen. The dude is legit, but his chin is gone and broken. And that's not something that necessarily gets fixed just moving up a weight class. Jan Blachowicz has got really sharp hands, really crisp boxing, and really good speed. So he's not your one-punch knockout kind of guy, but he is a volume puncher with precision. He will find Luke's chin, and this line is way too wide for a guy going up a weight class where the dudes are bigger, stronger, and hit harder. Rockhold might be the more athletic of the two, but if he wants to get in that fight, he's going to have to trade eventually, and I think Jan finds that chin.
Jan is a big dog. Wow. And it's just money pouring in on Rockhold. So at bookmaker, you can get Jan for plus 220. Bill Butlicker in the house says, Rockhold, Blachowicz, take the over. And so nice to see Bill Butlicker back in action. You know he'll be heavy come football season. All right, I have a couple questions regarding some other bouts, but right now, let's hear what you have to say about a big parlay that you're going to be making. I love your parlays. Set the stage. What is your parlay for this card?
So whenever I go for parlays, Jimmy, I have to be very confident in the 2 favorites that I'm parlaying. And I really am looking for a dog line. I don't like to do parlays where I end up laying the wood. This is one of those situations where you break your own rules. We're going to take Michael Chiesa. He's sitting about minus 340. And then we are going to take Amanda Nunez, who is minus 335. That parlay is going to come out to about minus 150. And I'm going to lay 3 units to win 2 on that parlay because I don't see how either of these 2 lose. Diego Sanchez is fighting Chiesa. And even though I gave him out as a pick last time when he fought Mickey Gall, I love Diego Sanchez. I'm a huge fan of his. His chin is completely gone. He's a natural lightweight, and he's fighting up a weight class because he's old. He can't make that cut anymore, and it completely depletes him these days. So he's fighting a bigger, stronger, younger fighter. And even though Chiesa is not normally a knockout threat, he doesn't have a single knockout on his record. He's a ground specialist, which you would think that would put him in Diego Sanchez's world. He's got a full head on Diego Sanchez. He's massive for the division, and he's completely filled out since he moved up from 155 to 170. He's one of those guys that was killing himself to make that 155-pound weight cut. He's completely filled out, and I expect him to get the first TKO of his career. When he gets Diego on the mat, he will get on top, and he will pound him out. Amanda Nunez is the 2-time women's greatest of all time. She's the only woman to hold 2 belts at the same time, and she's fighting fan favorite Holly Holm. Holly Holm is 2-4 in her last 6. She's 37 years old. She's on the decline as well. The only thing she does is walk forward and kia. She's throwing her strikes going, ah, and it looks pretty good. And against low-level competition, the judges might give it to her. Amanda Nunez takes people's heads off. She just stepped up a weight class to take on Cyborg, who was the women's GOAT, and she took her out in less than a minute. I don't think she's going to have any trouble with Holly Holm. She can get her out of there in the first or second round if she wants to. She can outpace her for a full 5-round decision if she wants to. Nunez wins this thing any way she wants to, and I don't see either of these fighters losing.
The Chiesa Nunez parlay, and I've heard a lot of people really thinking that Nunez, and I don't want to use words that we don't like here, but are very confident in Amanda Nunez in this spot. Wow. Now, I've noticed the Thiago Santos Jon Jones fight is not on your card, and is that because Jon Jones is just too big of a favorite you can't find an angle to make cash off of?
Well, I've got a couple of thoughts on that, Jimmy, and I don't have an official pick on that one. But if you're looking for a spot to, have a sweat, throw some money on, I've got 2 options for you. You can take Jon Jones by decision and get him at about plus 380, because realistically, he can win this fight pretty much any way he wants to. He's the most well-rounded fighter we have ever seen in the cage. He's the official GOAT. He's basically undefeated. He's got a loss on his record that was a DQ for throwing an illegal strike. And what he likes to do is completely outclass his opponents. We saw that against Anthony Lionheart-Smith. He took him the full 25 minutes, completely shut his game down and pieced him apart, but he didn't want to let him out of there easy. He wouldn't submit him. He wouldn't knock him out. He just wanted to make him look bad for a full 25 minutes. I expect him to do that exactly here with Thiago. He knows where Thiago's weaknesses are, and in an interview I heard yesterday, he has no interest in taking him down and submitting him. He knows that would be the easy way to do it. He's going to stand with him. He's going to make him look bad and play the matador. He's going to leg kick him. And then when Thiago starts to gas out and slow down, he'll just go to town. I think there's some value on Jon Jones by decision, but I'm never laying minus 850 on anybody. The other option of that is if you feel like throwing $5 on a spot and cheering for a big underdog, like this guy does, throw 5 on Thiago. All that money has come in on Jon Jones, and Thiago's sitting at about plus 500, plus 525 right now. That's worth a 5 or 10 spot. Give you a little sweat for the main event.
Sure. And what would you get if you took butt liquor? Sorry, I'm looking at butt liquor by decision.
I'm not taking butt liquor versus Jon Jones. I love you, Bill, but I'm not taking you versus Jon Jones.
What would you get if you took Jon Jones by decision?
It's about plus 380, so almost 4-1.
Oh man, this is my favorite Animarak spot of all time. And Helio said that you're making my mouth water, and you are. All of a sudden, you are. I desperately need a drink myself, Clint. Man, do I wish I was right beside you right now, dude. What a great guy, our guy, Animarak. So, to go over the plays, you have the recounter, Nardiev doesn't go the distance. You have Song Yading as a favorite, and you have 2 dogs in Marcos and Jan Blachowicz. Marcos at plus 2 bills, Blachowicz around like upwards of plus 150. And then you have a parlay here, a minus 150 parlay. You're putting 3 units on Chiesa and Nunez, and it looks like we've lost our guy and America. Looks like we've lost him. Looks like the alcohol's got the best of him. Looks like the bottle's got to America. We've lost him. Oh man. Oh, that's too bad. Too bad. I hope it wasn't like a croc. I guess not croc. Maybe a snake of some kind come up and got him in the neck. Man, I hope nothing terrible happened, but we have lost America somehow. That's the best way to end it. After all those shots, he just fucking disappears, man. There he is. So catch him. His Twitter handle is Maximus in 3D. But his podcast is blowing up, Die Hard MMA Podcast. Check that out. And you can also check him out here every week.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.